Welcome, hustlers and dreamers, to another exciting episode of the Full-Time Hustler Podcast. I'm your host, Jason Feimster, here to guide you through the maze of entrepreneurship, debunk myths, and shed light on what it truly takes to be a full-time entrepreneur. Here at Full-Time Hustler, we dive deep into the heart of startup culture, talking real business, real struggles, and most importantly, real triumphs. Whether you're in the seed stage of your venture or looking to scale, this is the place for unfiltered stories and advice. Today, in episode 33, titled, What Are the Top Myths About Being a Full-Time Entrepreneur? We're setting the record straight. It's easy to get caught up in the glittering portrayals of entrepreneurship in the media, overnight success stories, the allure of becoming your own boss with limitless freedom, and tales of ideas that seemed to strike gold by sheer luck. But what's the real story? Behind every success is a tale of perseverance, lessons learned from failure, and the mundane yet crucial tasks that keep a business running. We're here to take a closer look at these myths, debunk them with facts, insights, and stories from those who've lived the entrepreneurial journey. So whether you're sipping coffee in your home office, gearing up in your workplace, or winding down from a day of relentless hustle, join me as we explore the truth behind the entrepreneurial myths that can hold us back or misguide us on our paths to success. Before we dive in, a quick reminder to check out our WordPress blog at fthustler.wordpress.com for more resources. And if you love what you hear, be sure to subscribe to our podcast on Spotify and YouTube. Now let's get into the heart of today's topic. Let's dive into our first myth. Success comes overnight. It's a narrative we've all seen glamorized across headlines and social media. Stories of startups that seemingly pop up out of nowhere, capturing the market and the imagination of the public overnight. But here's the truth. The part often left untold. These overnight successes are usually years in the making. Take, for example, the story of Airbnb. Today it's a household name, synonymous with travel and adventure, transforming the way we think about accommodations worldwide. But did you know that Brian Chesky, Joe Geba, and Nathan Blasharsky faced countless rejections, struggled to get funding, and even sold cereal boxes to keep their idea afloat during their early years? Yes, you heard that right. Cereal boxes themed around the 2008 presidential election, which they called Obama O's and Captain McCain's. It was their creativity in the face of financial challenges that kept them going, not a sudden stroke of luck. Or consider the journey of WhatsApp. Before becoming the go-to messaging app for over 2 billion users, founder John and Brian faced rejection from Facebook, the very company that would acquire them for 19 billion years later. WhatsApp's success was not an overnight success story, but a testament to persistence, a belief in the product, and gradual, steady growth. These stories highlight a critical truth about entrepreneurship. Success is a journey filled with persistence, patience, and perseverance. It requires a willingness to face rejection, to learn from failure, and to keep pushing forward even when the end goal seems miles away. The narrative of overnight success simplifies and glamorizes the entrepreneurial journey, often overlooking the years of hard work, the sleepless nights, and the unyielding dedication entrepreneurs put into their ventures. So, to all entrepreneurs listening, remember success is not measured by how quickly you achieve it, but by the resilience you show in the face of challenges. The path of entrepreneurship is a marathon, not a sprint. It's about setting a pace you can sustain, learning from each stumble, and always keeping your eyes on the finish line, no matter how far it seems. Let these stories remind you that behind every overnight success is a backstory filled with hard work, dedication, and a relentless pursuit of a vision. Your journey might be long and filled with challenges, but it's these experiences that forge the path to true, lasting success. On to our next myth. You must have a revolutionary idea. There's this pervasive belief that to be successful, an entrepreneur must come up with something the world has never seen before, a groundbreaking invention or a disruptive technology that changes the game entirely. While innovation is undoubtedly valuable, the truth is that many successful businesses are built on improving existing ideas, not creating something from scratch. Consider the story of Dropbox. At its core, Dropbox wasn't the first cloud storage service, yet Drew Houston saw an opportunity to make cloud storage simpler and more user friendly, addressing a common problem he personally faced: forgetting his USB drive. It was this focus on solving a specific issue with a user friendly solution, not the invention of cloud storage itself, that led to Dropbox's success. Similarly, Starbucks didn't invent coffee. Howard Schultz revolutionized how we experience coffee shops, transforming them into the third place between work and home for millions of people. Starbucks focused on the quality of the coffee, atmosphere of their stores, and the customer experience. This reimagining of the coffee shop concept led to a global phenomenon. These examples underscore that success doesn't always come from inventing something new, but often from looking at what's already there and asking, how can I make this better? It's about innovation, yes, but innovation that's rooted in improvement, accessibility, and addressing the needs and desires of your target audience. So if you're sitting on an idea because it's not the first of its kind, or you're waiting for that lightning bolt of revolutionary inspiration to strike, remember, it's not always about being first to market, but about being the best in the market for your customers. It's about finding a gap, even in crowded markets, and thrilling it in a way that resonates with people's needs and desires. The entrepreneurial journey is as much about reinvention and iteration as it is about invention. It's about seeing the potential for improvement and having the courage to say, I can do this better. Whether it's enhancing customer service, refining a product, or simply offering a better user experience, these are the innovations that can set you apart in the business world. So let's go of the myth that your idea must be revolutionary to be successful. Focus instead on how you can bring value, problems, and make a difference. That's where true innovation lies, not in the idea itself, but in its execution and impact on people's lives. Moving on to a myth that many find particularly enticing, yet misleading: entrepreneurs have more free time. It's a seductive idea, isn't it? The notion that stepping into the world of entrepreneurship automatically grants you the freedom to set your own schedule, work fewer hours, and enjoy a life of leisure and flexibility. While it's true that entrepreneurship offers a level of autonomy you might not find in a traditional 9 to 5 roles, the reality is that this freedom comes with a significant responsibility, often translating to more work, not less. Let's talk about Elon Musk, a name synonymous with innovation and entrepreneurship. Musk is known for his work ethic, famously putting in 80 to 100 hours weeks in his ventures like Tesla and SpaceX. His dedication exemplifies the entrepreneur's drive to push boundaries and achieve extraordinary goals, often at the expense of personal free time. Or consider the early days of Amazon. Jeff Bezos and his team packed books and took customer calls themselves. These stories of relentless work highlight a common theme among successful entrepreneurs: the readiness to do whatever it takes, or as long as it takes, to make their vision a reality. This myth also overlooks the mental load of entrepreneurship. Even when not working, entrepreneurs often spend countless hours thinking about their business, strategizing, worrying, and planning. It's not about the physical hours put into work, it's about the constant mental engagement with the business. The truth is, entrepreneurship can be all consuming. But here's the silver lining: while entrepreneurship may demand more of your time, especially in the early stages, it also offers the unparalleled satisfaction of building something of your own. Every hour you invest is an hour spent creating your legacy, shaping a business that aligns with your values, and pursuing your passion. To those dreaming of entrepreneurial freedom, remember, freedom in entrepreneurship isn't about having more free time. It's about having the freedom to choose how you spend your time, to make decisions that steer your business forward, and to invest in work that truly matters to you. Yes, the hours are long, and the work can be all consuming, but the fulfillment that comes from following your entrepreneurial dreams can make every minute worth it. So while you might not have the free time you imagined, you gain something much more valuable: the freedom to create, to innovate, and to lead a life that's authentically yours. That's the true beauty of entrepreneurship. Now, let's tackle a myth that stops many would be entrepreneurs in their tracks. You need a lot of money to start. The belief that starting a business requires a huge upfront investment is a daunting barrier for many. It suggests that entrepreneurship is only accessible to those with deep pockets or access to substantial funding. However, the landscape of entrepreneurship tells a different story, one where resourcefulness, creativity, and strategic planning often outweigh the size of your initial investment. Consider the story of MailChimp, an email marketing service that began as a side project without any external funding. Ben Chestnut and Dan Kurzis focused on growing their business slowly, reinvesting profits back into it. Today, MailChimp is a $1 billion company that remained self funded for much of its existence. Or take the journey of Spanx founder Sarah Blakely, who started her company with $5,000 she had saved from selling fax machines door to door. Blakely's initial investment was modest, but her belief in her product and her relentless pursuit of her vision turned Spanx into a global brand. These stories illustrate that while having capital can accelerate growth, the lack of it is not a death sentence for your entrepreneurial dreams. It's about starting small, being lean, and focus on building a product or service that meets a real need. It's about bootstrapping, where you can grow your business through its own revenues, learning to be resourceful, and finding creative solutions to financial constraints. Moreover, the digital age has significantly lowered the barrier to entry for starting a business. With platforms like Shopify, WordPress, and social media, it's possible to launch an online business with minimal cost. Crowdfunding platforms like Kickstarter and Indiegogo also offer unique opportunities to raise funds directly from customers who believe in your idea. The key takeaway: don't let the myth that you need a lot of money to start a business hold you back. Yes, funding can help, but it's not the only path to success. Resourcefulness, clear focus on solving a problem, and a commitment to gradual growth can compensate for a lack of initial investment. Entrepreneurs are, by nature, problem solvers. If the financial barrier is the problem, challenge yourself to think like an entrepreneur and find creative ways to overcome it. So, to anyone out there thinking you need a fortune to start your entrepreneurial journey, remember, your biggest assets are your ideas, your determination, and your willingness to make the most of what you have. These are the true building blocks of a successful business. Next, we confront a myth that casts a long shadow over the entrepreneurial spirit. Failure is not an option. This myth perpetuates the idea that failure is a sign of weakness, a dead end, something to be avoided at all costs. However, the reality of entrepreneurship cannot be further from this misconception. Failure is not only an option, it's often an integral part of the journey toward success. It's a teacher, a guide, sometimes a necessary detour on the path to achieving your goals. Let's look at the story of Steve Jobs, a name that resonates with innovation, success, and resilience. Jobs was famously ousted from Apple, the very company he co founded in 1985. Yet this setback was a pivotal moment in his career, leading him to new ventures like Next and Pixar, and eventually back to Apple, where he led the company to create some of the most iconic products in technology. Jobs' journey teaches us that failure is not the end, but an opportunity to learn, grow, and come back stronger. Another inspiring story is that of Oprah Winfrey, who faced numerous challenges in her early career, including being fired from her job as a television reporter because she was unfit for TV. Oprah didn't let this setback define her. Instead, she went on to become one of the most influential media personalities and a billionaire, proving that early failures are merely stepping stones to greater achievements. These stories highlight an essential truth. Failure is a part of the entrepreneurial process. It tests our resolve, pushes our boundaries, and forces us to reconsider our paths. The key is not to fear failure, but to embrace it as an opportunity for growth. It's about resilience, the ability to bounce back after a setback, learn from your mistakes, and use that knowledge to make better decisions in the future. Embracing failure also means fostering a culture where taking calculated risk is encouraged, where mistakes are seen as valuable learning experiences. This mindset can liberate you from the fear of failure, allowing you to pursue your entrepreneurial dreams with confidence and openness to the lessons that come your way. So, to every entrepreneur listening, failure is not a signal to give up, but a sign that you're pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Remember, the most successful people in business are those who have failed and learned from it. Your ability to navigate failure, to stand up after falling, is what will define your entrepreneurial journey, not the setbacks themselves. Let us redefine our relationship with failure, not as an end, but as a beginning, a crucial step on the road to success. Failure is not just an option, it's an inevitable part of the journey that shapes us into resilient, savvy, and successful entrepreneurs. Our final myth before the conclusion is one that romanticizes the lone wolf, the solitary genius forging a path through sheer will and innovation. Entrepreneurs work alone. It's a powerful image, but it obscures a fundamental truth about entrepreneurship. It's a journey best traveled with others. Collaboration, mentorship, and community play pivotal roles in the success of any entrepreneurial endeavor. Take, for example, the story of Bill Gates and Paul Allen, who founded Microsoft. Their partnership combined Gates' business acumen with Allen's technical expertise, illustrating how collaborative efforts can lead to groundbreaking achievements. Or consider the success of Google, founded by Larry Page and Sergey Brin. Their collaboration in a Stanford University dorm room led to the creation of the most powerful search engine in the world. These partnerships highlight the synergy that comes from working together, each person bringing their unique strengths to the table. Moreover, behind every successful entrepreneur is a network of mentors, advisors, and supporters. Richard Branson, the founder of the Virgin Group, often speaks about the importance of mentorship in his career. Mentors provide guidance, encouragement, and invaluable insights, helping to navigate the complex waters of entrepreneurship. The myth of the solitary entrepreneur also overlooks the importance of the team that supports them. From the early employees who buy into the vision and work tirelessly to bring it to life, to the broader community of customers, suppliers, and fans who believe in the product or service. Entrepreneurship is not a solo mission, it's a collective effort that requires building and nurturing relationships with a wide range of people. So, to those who feel they must go it alone, remember entrepreneurship is a team sport. It's about building networks, seeking advice, collaborating on ideas, and supporting each other through the ups and downs. The strength of your relationship can be the difference between success and failure. Embrace the power of community. Seek out mentors who can guide you and build a team that shares your vision. The journey of entrepreneurship is one filled with challenges, but you don't have to face them alone. The support, knowledge, and camaraderie of a strong network can lift you higher than you might ever go on your own. Let's put to rest the myth that entrepreneurship work alone and celebrate the collaborative spirit that drives the entrepreneurial world forward. It's the partnerships, the team efforts, and the shared successes that truly define what it means to be an entrepreneur. As we wrap up today's journey through the myths surrounding the life of a full-time entrepreneur, I hope we've shed some light on the realities behind the entrepreneurial spirit. We've debunked myths that, while enticing, often mislead and deter aspiring entrepreneurs from pursuing their dreams. Remember, the path to entrepreneurship is not about overnight successes. revolutionary ideas, abundant free time, massive initial investments, an aversion to failure, or going it alone. It's about perseverance, innovation and execution, commitment, resourcefulness, learning from setbacks, and embracing the power of collaboration. I want to extend a heartfelt thank you to each of you for joining me today. Your time, attention, and commitment to the journey of entrepreneurship are what make this community so incredibly special. Whether you're just starting out or you're well on your way, remember, you're not alone. We're all in this together, navigating the challenges and celebrating the victories that come with chasing our entrepreneurial dreams. If today's episode resonated with you, or if it sparked something within you or challenged your perception, I encourage you to subscribe to the Full Time Hustler podcast. Here we're all about real talk, genuine experiences, and insights that can help guide you on your entrepreneurial path. So hit that subscribe button on Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you love to listen to your podcast, and join us as we continue to explore, learn, and grow together. In closing, remember, the myths of entrepreneurship are just that, myths. The truth is in the stories we share, the challenges we overcome, and the successes we celebrate together. Here's to your journey, to the lessons we learn along the way, and to the incredible potential within each of us to create, innovate, and succeed. Thank you again for your time, for your trust, and for being a part of this amazing community. Until next time, keep hustling, keep dreaming, and keep pushing forward. You've got this, and we've got you. Take care and see you on the next episode of the Full Time Hustler Podcast.